Hey everyone, Nuno here, and welcome to New Grimoire, a brand new series here on the channel where we're going to be building a city on City Skylines 2. So, with further ado, let me just start this new game and follow those steps, okay? So, first of all, new game, I'm going to select a map. I already have an idea of what I want to choose. I want a map that has a lot of area to build, that has good outside connections, if possible all of them already available or somewhere over there. And of course all the natural resources that we can have. It doesn't matter much the capacity or quantity that we have as long as we have them. Although I do think, for instance, Waterway Pass seems to be the best map from what I've been looking at. So I'm going to select the map. I'm going to call this city New Grimoire. And the reason for that is mostly because the first city I built here on the channel on City Skylines was Grimoire. Now with City Skylines 2, I've just decided to choose New Grimoire. I'm going to select a team to be North American, natural disasters on. I'm going to disable tutorials and let's start the game. Alright, so here we have initial square, and the first thing I want to do is I want to look into our wind direction here with our industrial building so we know where we're going to place it. This is a new variable on the game, so that's something I want to do. And looking at it, I believe that the best location is going to be around here. So we're going to build our industrial around here. Now, I would like to know if we have... Yeah, you don't have access to natural resources yet, so I'm not sure if we have any resource in here. I don't know if this is fertile land, if it has ore, oil, or any other thing. For that reason, well, the thing is we can always replace it later on, okay? So that's not much of a problem. Okay, so another thing I want to do is I want to look at the terrain, and I can see that this terrain has a lot of hills. So it's not entirely flat. So you do have like a lot of area to build, but it's not flat. In fact, the flattest area is in here. Luckily, we can use these terrain tools. They're free, and we're going to, first of all, I'm going to terraform this a little bit. It's not going to look perfect, but at least I'm going to try to do that. So let me do this, and then I'll come back to you guys. Okay, so I flattened most of this area because this is where we're going to be building most of the things. We do have this other island we can expand to whenever we need, but for the time being, that's kind of it. There's these high cliffs in here. I think that it's going to be okay. I think we're going to be building some kind of key area in here, maybe where our citizens can walk around. It's not a bad idea, but only when we expand enough to this area. Until then, I think we are gonna let this stay the way it is. Will it look good? Yeah, you have like these deep cuts in here, but you know, it's fine. Okay, so now we're gonna build our infrastructure, and the way I'm thinking about doing this is kind of like build, first of all, this medium road. I think 600 meters should be more than enough for the time being. You can see that when we build something, we gain experience. So we just built that little bit of road. We got 16 experience points. And that's how we level up. Also, I'm going to build our industries in here. So I want some kind of connection to the industrial area to be very close to our highway. I don't want trucks to go, heavy trucks coming in with resources or exporting resources to go through the city. And we know that this is going to be our industrial area. So for that very specific reason, I am going to build, I'm thinking between either a medium road. Medium roads have like 4 lanes. And you know, this is not going to be a very heavy area and early on, so I'm not thinking much about that. I think, yeah, we're gonna build. Let me just turn off these two ones, and we're going to build up to 240. Can we go to 300? It goes 304. So I think 240 should be more than enough for this starting area. Or we could go further on this entire area up till here, probably. And then we can go a little bit of freeform. Okay, so roads are built for the time being. We're gonna continue to expand, of course. There's gonna come a moment that we're gonna continue expanding to here, and we're gonna try to replicate this same grid layout until we end up here on the coast. Then we're gonna go with this pedestrian street and probably try to build up some kind of key wall around here. I don't know, where our citizens can walk by and have fun over there. One thing I want to do first is here, I want to build this as a roundabout. We only have access to a small roundabout, but that should be more than enough. I don't want any traffic lights in here, so because it's very close to the highway entrance and exit, and I want trucks to just turn around while all the other cars can move forward to our city. All right, so now let's look into electricity. We only have 3 options. We can use the transformer station. I don't think I want to do that. Instead, I want to use the 1 turbine. I think we will have good enough electricity in here. So it's almost 5. Maybe I can find a location where I have 5. Here, we have 5 megawatts. This wind turbine is going to be enough to power our city up to probably I think Milestone 3 should be more than enough. Eventually, if not, Milestone 2 should be more than enough, and then we can build another one, because in here in this corner we do have a good quality of wind energy. Another thing now we're gonna do, we're gonna place our sewage, and I am thinking, I have no idea where we're gonna place it, but we do have this area, and it's gonna be kind of fun to see these falling down, but that should be more than enough. Let's just connect this to the road like that. Very good. Sewage is done. Now the problem is with water. The cheapest one is the water pumping station, and we do have a lot of rivers, but we are in a very tall position in here. Do we have a location where I think we are kind of like in a more lower end? I kind of want this here. It's gonna be very tall, but you know what? It's not the worst case, to be honest. It's not the worst. So we have it here in this corner, and I just need to connect now to... Let's snap this to the buildings. I'm gonna use gravel roads, but I need to connect these to the road layout. By doing this, now we have access to basically our infrastructure, so they will have access to electricity, sewage, and of course they're going to be able to send out water. But I kind of want this to be connected through here somewhere. You know what? I have no problem in kind of breaking up the grid layout in here to have something different, a little bit like this, and then maybe build up through this breakpoint. You could call it that way. All right, so we now have all the services done here on the city. Now, before unpausing the game, let's just build a couple of residential areas. I want to build, first of all, this middle row. Mostly because in here I have no problem. I want houses in all. They can build freely the houses in here. But then I want to kind of zone around here some commercials and share this area with residential probably. And in fact, we're going to do that. We're going to build just a small district in here. So this is we could go 6 by 6, right? This is 6. So 3, 4, 5, 6. I think this is like the maximum size they could have. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and either we go with the 6 in height, and then 5 for houses. I kind of want to leave a gap in here. So I'm thinking that we may have different sizes in here, you know, and for that reason, we're gonna leave these different kind of gaps, and we will see what happens here. And also, this should be enough for the early stages. And then for industries, we're gonna zone 1 square. That should be more than enough. So let's unpause it, speed up to the maximum speed, which is level 3, and let's see what happens. Let's see how many people we're gonna get, and hopefully we're gonna level up to the first milestone. Okay, so the first batch of people have settled in, and we do have like a lot of demand for residential and commercial, and a little bit of industrial demand. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna replicate the same thing through here. And first of all, let's zone in some commercial areas. The first one in here is gonna be a 6 by 6. The other one, smaller ones. And next, we'll leave 1 square of a gap in here, mostly because I want to build some kind of walking path through these. Also to kind of break down a little bit these commercial areas and buildings. Now, one thing I'm noticing is that sometimes if I want them to be building on this street, I would want them not to build through here, and we can see that the entrance and exit points are through the Pleasant Street instead of how it's called, Hawthorne Street. And I can see These ones are on the Hawthorne Street. That's fine. These other ones aren't. Anyways, we're just gonna leave it go like that. And we do still have need for industrial buildings, so why not build these other square? Why not? So they have these other square, they can kind of explore and build up their industries. And this is not far away. People can drive in their cars to their industries if they want to. They cannot walk until now. I mean, they could, but they will not. It's kind of far away for walking, I guess. Plus they have cars, so why not? Anyways, let's speed up, because I'm pretty much sure that now we should be able to reach the next milestone. It's just a matter of waiting until we gain experience from our new citizens coming in, or by improving or increasing their happiness. Alright, so we have leveled up to the first milestone. We got a little bit of cash, and we got the ability to unlock up to 3 tiles and a development point, if I'm not mistaken. Looking at what we now have access to, we have access to unlocking tiles, like I said. We have the budget. We now have medium housing. These are medium density row housing, so this is quite interesting for a specific design style that I kind of want to build around here eventually, or maybe next. I don't know. We may use it. Why not? If it's unlocked, we have more people coming into these houses. But we have to be careful, because demand in here shows what kind of demand we want or we have at the moment. We also have different kind of roads now, and more importantly, we have healthcare and garbage management. And we're going to pause the game for a second, because I don't want to spend too much time here. I mean, we can unpause if it's in the lowest speed. We are going to build, for the time being, the landfill. Here we go. The landfill is not going to be very big. I don't think we're going to be able to, mostly because I kind of don't know how many tons we're going to have, but we don't need something too big at the moment. We're going to have 164 tons of trash right next to our industry. That should be enough for the time being. I believe I'm going to be unlocking the sometime soon. I should be unlocking the recycling centers, which I believe are better than this one. I mean, not better. This has more capacity, but the recycling center is greener, so it's something I would rather have in my city. Now let's look into the healthcare. We want to build a clinic, and I think this here could be a really cool location for the clinic. So it's kind of like a central initial area. I kind of want it in here. And for our graveyard, I kind of want to expand through here. So let's, first of all, build up here, 112, right? Up to 112. Connect. 112, up to 112, connect. Now, I didn't want to break down these trees, and we're not going to lose that many, but I kind of want to have the graveyard around here. I think it's going to look good with the trees surrounding. Yeah, looks good. And this gives us a good location to expand our city. And maybe in here we could have different kind of roads. Yeah, not a bad idea, in my opinion. Not bad at all. Okay, we are going to continue to expand our... Let me check. Okay, these are the other roads. We're not going to use them at the moment. And now we have the medium density housing that we do have like a little bit of interest in here. But before that, I think we're gonna go build up some more residential buildings in here. Then go like that, and let's expand commercial also. And do it the opposite we had over there. And this is just one side that should be more than enough for some of the demand. Not all of it. We still have a lot of demand for residential. So, in this regard, I think we're gonna go like this. This should be fine. And I kind of want to build these high density rows somewhere. I would say somewhere around here. You know what? We're gonna build a couple more houses. So we are now going to start using this one. I'm gonna pause the game just for a second because we are going to unzone this area. We're gonna lose a couple of houses. That is fine. And now we're going to, I'm just gonna zone these for the rows and this one. And just this little square should be enough for some of this demand that we have. Because each one of these houses will have more citizens than, or at least more families. Because these are like, we can have up to 5 apartments in here. So kind of like 5 houses. While here is just 1 house, right? And this is taking care of most of that demand. Let me just erase this one because I want them all to be the same kind of style. Let's speed up a little bit more. There you go. And we're now gonna have this street after when the demand goes up again, then we will gonna be building up everything else through this part of the city again and expanding it to all of this area with these kind of medium density row houses. Okay, so we are still a little bit far from reaching the next milestone, unfortunately. And I can see that we need to expand more our residential area. And I kind of like the idea of building up something around here a little bit with more free form than anything else. So, first of all, I want to build up in here. I kind of want to build up in here some kind of alley that goes around the graveyard. And this will allow me to build some houses around it. It's fine. I mean, some people, it's kind of creepy, could be creepy to live nearby your a graveyard or a cemetery, but you know, it's not bad also. I hope. The next thing we're gonna do then is we're going to grab the freeform and we're gonna start adding a bit of different kind of neighborhood around here. And I think this will be quite interesting because it's gonna be different for sure. I'm not entirely sure exactly how we're gonna be building it totally, but we can have some kind of like almost like cul-de-sacs or neighborhoods like that, and we can build housing in here. And here makes all sense that these houses, they need to be smaller ones. So we're gonna build these ones first. And I'm gonna have I'm gonna think about these other ones later. And here again, we can build the same thing. Some houses around here. I kind of do not want to build up that many houses. We can have a couple of them. I don't want it too close to there, so I'm gonna try to limit a little bit the square size here. There's gonna be a couple of houses, and I think that should be more than enough for the time being for these low residential. Oh, we do have more medium demand. So let's pause the game again. Every time I want to do this medium demand, I kind of want to pause the game. Mostly because I want to erase this and I do not want... I have to wait until this is built. Okay, this is built now. I can go like that, and at the same time, I want to. I have to erase this one. There you go. There you go. This should be taking care of all the medium demand for the time being. It's gonna grow up more, and we're gonna have to build more around here. And we can see a lot of people coming in for their new homes. There's a couple of cool homes here, and we do have residential need around here. So let's build up these ones. And these ones in here, I want to be a little bit more considerable, or considerate a little bit more the land we have. And yeah, I'm kind of liking it. That's cool. You can see we do not have demand at all for commercial. We do have demand, a lot of demand for residential. And we now have more demand for medium. So let's continue to do the expansion through here. Let's do the same thing. I'm going to pause the game. We're going to delete these two houses. We're going to build up these medium ones. I don't build in here until there's another one here because I want them to be facing this street. I want them to be facing Grove Street and not the Pleasant Street. So by doing this, I can guarantee that now they are all facing the same place. And there you go. I'm going to just erase this one. There you go. Bigger ones. And these ones, I think they're going to be slightly bigger. Yes, they're going to be slightly bigger. I think they're going to have... Well, these are all 5 houses. These are all 6 houses. That's interesting. Quite interesting. We still have demand for medium, more than we have for the other ones. So let's do the same thing. Let's pause the game, erase these ones. Well, I should dezone it first, but that's fine. And let's zone these ones first. Okay, this one is doing. Let's go that way. And this should, in fact, there you go. They're gonna have no demand for medium at the moment. But that's only temporary because demand is always moving around and we're always going to be, taking care of all that demand. Now that we have taken care of our residential demand, we have a little bit more demand for commercial. And we do have here where we want to build our commercial buildings. So let's kind of build them now. I don't want to overdo, so I'm just gonna go through this one. This square should have more than enough people coming in. Okay, so that's basically it for today's episode. I was hoping to reach the next milestone, and I'm probably going to reach it. So I'm just gonna wait before finishing the episode. So I'm gonna speed up and wait for us to reach the milestone number 2 before finishing today's episode. Alright, so it took a little bit more time for us to unlock milestone number 2, but we reached it on the first episode, and just before finishing, let me just slow down the speed. Well, we got a little bit of money for our city, more development points, and more expansion permits, so we have more land that we can buy. Together with that, we have now increased our loan limit. We have taxation now available, so we can increase or decrease the taxation for our citizens. We now have the possibility to build medium density housing. So this means we can now build apartments and a lot more people can come into our city and live in one building. We now also have access to education, and education in here is extremely important because this will allow our citizens to improve their studies, or in this case their education, and get better jobs that pay more money, and therefore they're going to be able to pay more taxes. And in fact, that is something we can talk about in the next episode, which is trying to figure out taxes. So we want to increase taxes to more educated citizens and kind of leave taxes lower for lower educated citizens, mostly because these lower educated citizens, they don't have they will not have very good paying jobs. They will be working on factories or commercial jobs that don't have that much of a pay salary, and therefore we should lower them their taxes on that regard. But that is kind of it for today's episode. We are already on the between 30 to 40 minutes. I don't know exactly because I'm gonna be speeding up a couple of things after editing. But overall, yeah, that was the first episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope to see you guys on my next episode, where we're going to continue to expand. We're going to be building these education infrastructures. We're going to, like I said, expand the city. Probably we're going to be buying plots of land, probably. Or maybe before buying these plots of land, we're going to explore a lot more the map that we have. We have this island in here that has no expansion at all. So instead of expanding through here, we can expand through all these areas. We still have a lot of buildable area, to be honest, so we don't need to expand to that regard. And hopefully we're gonna reach the next milestone. I don't expect reaching milestones very quickly, but yeah, that may be one of the next milestones we may reach. One other thing that may happen also, we have points. We have development points to spend. We have up to 3 development points. I am not entirely sure where we're going to spend them. I'm thinking maybe college, because we want to level up the education of our citizens, and I'm also thinking maybe a recycling center could be a good approach. I'm not entirely sure, but either way, guys, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, leave a comment, subscribe, leave a like also, and I'll see you guys on my next episode. Thank you for watching. Cheers.